Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So today we are going to talk about Sonnet 73 written by William Shakespeare. This sonnet is also known as That Time of Year Thou Mayst in Me Behold. The sonnet was published in 1609. So at first, let's see how we are going to read about the entire sonnet. Firstly, we are going to talk about the theme, then we'll understand the structure of the sonnet, then we'll come to the analysis of the entire sonnet, line by line analysis. So if I talk about the theme of the sonnet, this is based on love, old age, nature and mortality. How am I saying it? Why am I saying it? You're going to understand in the later part of the video. So let's start talking about the structure of the sonnet. The sonnet is divided in 4 parts, 3 quatrains and then 1 couplet. First 4 lines are first quatrain, second 4 lines are second quatrain, third 4 lines are third quatrain, and then comes the last 2 lines, that is the couplet. This sonnet is written in iambic pentameter and the rhyme scheme of it is A B A B, C D C D, E F E F and then G G. Now let's understand how we are doing this rhyme scheme. So the first line ends with behold. The third line ends with cold. So first and the third lines are rhyming, correct? So let's take it as A. The second line ends with hang and the fourth line ends with sang. So A and then comes the B. So basically it is alternatively rhyming, okay? So A B, C D, E F and then the couplet. The last words of the couplet is rhyming. The last word of the couplet starts with strong and then long, okay? So GG. Understandable? Now let's come to the analysis of the sonnet. So before talking about the analysis or having a line by line analysis of this sonnet, we need to understand few imagery and symbols we use in literature to understand the entire sonnet, okay? So in here Shakespeare has wonderfully and beautifully used imageries and symbols to compare with our life. What kind of symbols? He has compared time of the day, he has compared fire, he has compared year with our life. Time of the day as in the day starts with the dawn, correct? The day starts. So it's the birth. Then comes the afternoon, which is the peak of our youth, okay? 12, which is the peak of the day, which is the peak of our youth. Then comes the evening, which means we are aging, okay? The day starts to go down, okay? Then comes twilight, which is end of our life or end of the day. Then comes the night, that is the death, okay? So with night the day ends and with death our life ends, okay? Now coming to the year symbolism. So we have in literature, we have divided a year in 4 seasons, okay? And we have compared them with our life. How? So this is spring, summer, fall and then winter, okay? In spring we see trees to grow new leaves, that is the birth, okay? Then comes the summer. In western countries, summer is a very pleasant season, okay? So summer is the peak of our youth. Then comes the fall. That is compared with the middle age or the end of our life, okay? Then comes the winter. That is the end of the year. That is the death, end of our life, okay? Now he has compared it with fire, okay? When the fire starts to lit, we can see a little flames and all. That is the birth of the fire. Then we can see it growing. That is the peak of our life. Okay, youth of our life, we can say it. Then the fire starts to get smaller. Okay, the energy goes a little down. That is the old age. And then in the end, we can see the ashes when the fire extinguishes. Okay, so that is the death. That is the end. Full stop. Understood? Now let's see how he has used them in the entire sonnet. So the first quatrain says, "The time of year thou mayst in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few do hang, upon those boughs which shake against the cold." Boughs means the branches, okay? Which shake against the cold. The cold is winter. "Bare ruin choirs," choir meaning the platform, or a platform where a bunch of people sings. Okay, he's saying bare ruined. The choir is ruined, where the late sweet birds sang. The birds sang in the choir, and the choir is ruined now. So he's saying that he's comparing the entire life, or his life, with autumn season or the old age, and he is saying that the time of year thou mayst in me behold. You can see that time of the year right now, where I am in the winters. Okay, he is in the the end of his life. The life of him is going to end now. In the second quatrain, he has used the cycle, that is the day. Okay, the time of the day. He has used the symbolism in here. He is saying, "In me thou seest the twilight of such day." In me you can see that the twilight of that day. Twilight, I have said, this is the elderly, old age. Okay, "as after sunset fadeth in the west." The sun sets in the west. So after sunset fadeth in the west, evening. Okay, after sunset comes the evening. And he is saying that in me you can see in that time, in my I am in that time of my of life, where everything is fading away. "Which by and by black night symbolizes with death, doth take away death's second self, that seals all up in rest." So he is talking about the old age. Okay, in the third quatrain he is saying, here again let me say that he has used the fire imagery, and he has compared fire with his life. The time of his life is in the last stage. Okay, he is living his old age. "In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie." He is near the ashes, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. So he is saying that the fire is also going to extinguish now, is going to be the ashes now. So in these three quatrains we can see his frustration, that we can see that less energy. He's not energetic anymore. He's not that powerful anymore, which he was. However, the friend he's talking to is not that old, but the speaker in here is very old. He doesn't have the energy anymore. In the couplet, we can see a hopeful note. In the three quatrains, we saw that frustration, that less energy. In the couplet, he's saying, "This thou perceiv'st, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long." So, ere meaning before in time. Before I die, you need to understand, I have few days left with me, and you need to love me that much because you do not have a lot of time to love me. You do not have the plethora of time. You do not have the plenty of days to love me. You have this much, the smallest amount of time with you to love me. So you do one thing, you love me so much that it actually takes all the time. Okay, so he has used in the couplet he has used the theme of carpe diem. We can understand. So live right now. You do not live in the future. You do not think about the future. You live right now, because I do not have a lot of time. He's ending the sonnet in a hopeful note. Okay, I hope you understood why I have told about that, I have talked, that you will understand about the theme in the end. So he is talking about the love of his life, then the old age, that he is very old, the nature, he has compared nature with our life, and the mortality. So nobody is immortal, everyone has to die, everything is mortal, correct? So I hope you have understood this sonnet. If you have, then like it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I would love to answer that. Thank you.